Hi everyone, I hope everyone's doing okay. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the SH Figuarts Emperor Palpatine and Throne Room set. Now this was a Soul Web exclusive and it is a very large box, as you can see here. It measures pretty much almost about 12 inches by 7 and 7, so it's a pretty huge box. You're seeing right now it's the front of it, and it's very reflective, and I apologize for that. But inside the packaging, you can see there are two Imperial guards, and there is Emperor Palpatine in his throne or chair, as we would say, and it's very interesting. The box is because it is huge. I wanted to show you how it looks. One side right here, you can see it says Star Wars, and I don't think you can tell right there, but there is like a small reflection of the Emperor's eyes. On the side is also just says Star Wars, and right here is two of the Imperial Guards, hard as hell. You have the Bandai sticker there to let you know that it is an authentic piece. And right here behind it you have a display of what the items have, or what items are inside of this box. As you can see, here is the Emperor and his throne with the two Imperial Guards, and then you have the other effects that come with it. As they show you here is the lightning effects, and it shows you like all the different options you can have with him. And on the side is the same thing. It's just the Emperor standing there with his two Imperial Guards. I don't think there's anything at the bottom. Oh, the bottom actually. My bad. You have all the information in terms of the SH Figuarts brand. And you also have a look here of what the Emperor will look like next to the SH Figuarts. I would assume the Darth Vader from the Return of the Jedi. But that's pretty much what I wanted to discuss. But now let's open this guy up and see how it looks like completely opened out. Here, and then just drag that out. Alright, and what we have here is what looks to be two trays. Let's see if we can open up both of these out. There's a tray underneath, and let's see. Well, let's just look at it first at the front. Once again, you can tell right here you have the two Imperial Guards, and then you have the Emperor right there. And then we'll take that off. You can see there's another tray right here, but it looks like there's nothing right here at all. But in fact, if you flip it around, all the other items are actually behind it. It's really strange. I think what they did that in order to create the black background in order to display this piece, which is actually pretty cool. But let's just see if we can open that a little bit. These things are hard to open. There we go. And what you have here is another second body for the Emperor, along with two of his heads, this 3 hand displays, and then you have the lightning effect hands, his cane, and the two Imperial Guards. I want to say, I'm not quite sure what they're called, I apologize. Their weapons or staffs that they carry. Alright, let me get everything out properly and we can look at it better. Now before we continue on, as you can see, it does come with a set of instructions which tells you exactly how and what comes with this set, and it shows you how to take things apart. So you can show you right here, it comes with 3 heads. It comes with a hood piece. It's got the cane, and it shows you how to interchange the hands. And it also tells you right here that how to place in the staff for the Imperial Guard. But it also tells you a little warning and to watch out for the little bit of on the top of the throne. There's like a little nub or something that sticks out, and you got to be careful you don't break that. So it's very good to know that they give you those instructions and that they're in English, because otherwise if they're in Japanese you probably would not be able to get that. Okay, first and foremost, I want to say I haven't really played much with this, but just off the bat, just unboxing it and just putting it here, it looks fantastic. I mean, just displaying it looks really good, and the contrasting of colors and that it has. But I mean, it's just awesome. But let me first talk about these Imperial Guard characters. The Imperial Guard here is made out of plastic, and it's all plastic. So as you can see here, there's nothing underneath. It's just made to stand, and it's very heavy plastic, so it's really filled in. But what's really cool is that there is some shading inside of it, so it makes it kind of gives you that depth in there. So it's not like a plain red plastic. I'm not sure if it's capturing it. The light's a little off. The dome, I mean the helmet looks pretty nice and clean, and the hand just sticks out of here. And as you can see, this is the staff. And as the instruction says, you have to push the staff through up here until it just holds it. And I believe it holds it until right there. I think it can go a little bit more. I'm not quite certain exactly where it's supposed to be, but it works. So it's fine, and you can actually place it right to the side. So it's pretty cool. Now, taking a look at the Emperor on his throne, I gotta tell you, I was very surprised because I didn't know exactly what it was that this item was going to come with, because the actual description of this on the websites in Ami Ami and Nippo Nasan and all these like websites in Japan kind of just said that it came with one body and all these other accessories. But as I showed you before, when I opened it, it actually comes with two bodies. And what's really interesting is that this one is just positioned to be sitting the entire time. So you can separate it from its throne or its chair, and it's molded in a way that it sticks like that. But it's not in any way something to that of the Imperial Guard, where it's just all plastic and it doesn't move. It still has its movements, which is really cool. It's got the arms that can bend pretty high here, and it does have an armpit joint. Crap, I apologize if I'm not in this focus. It does have an armpit joint, which is really cool. His hands can freely move. They're molded, and the robe is molded so that it can fit over the chair. So it does seem like it, even though if you were to raise the hand, it will look kind of odd because it has these slit openings here, which is clear. But in any case, this is going to be one of those pieces that I'm just going to keep sitting down. It's not going to be moving as much. It might have a small gesture here and there. But as you can see, the robes itself are all still made of soft plastic, similar to what the other body will look like when I show it to you. And it's good so that it keeps the same aesthetic look of it, and it doesn't change. And the detail, let me see if I can show you close up. Focus. The detail on the robes are just amazing. I mean, it is molded and sculpted so that it looks like fabric, like really detailed fabric, and exactly like it does in the film. And that to me is by far the most impressive thing about it so far. One of the most impressive things, I apologize. And the robes, the inner robes are all sculpted to be more softer fabric, and it does have all these folds and stuff. And then it has, of course, his oh crap, what is this called? I forgot. It'll come back to me. It does have the clip right here, which looks pretty cool, and it does have the headpiece, the hood that can move a bit more here and there. It does seem to detach. I don't know if there's a plug, because it seems like there's a plug there, but I think what it looks to be is that it's a little plug that just goes behind where the collar piece right here connects. But it's very nice, and you can see how awesome it does look. Now let's look at the actual chair, and I gotta tell you, I am very impressed on the amount of detail, but not only that is the color choices that was made for this. Now, for a long time, I don't think it was evident that the actual inner part of the chair was purple. It was very hard to see because in the scene it is itself very dark, and it's hard to tell what color it was, and most of the time the Emperor was sitting on it. But here you can see a nice vibrant purple. It sticks out really nicely, and the chair is all made of a gunmetal color, so it looks super shiny and reflects really nice. Now, I don't know if that was the accurate color to the film. It might be, but because, like I said, it was such a dark room and the lighting was so low, it was hard to tell the details in color, but also what functions it has. Now, it does not seem to rotate down here at all. does not have to have that function. I don't want to try it and break it, and that's fine because it's not like I need it to swivel around. It's pretty much good as it is. But looking here at the panels are interesting because I've never seen pink on the panels before. I'm not sure if that is the exact color, or maybe my eyes are deceiving me. But you can see there's like gold buttons, red buttons there. They're all sculpted. And here you see a black little interface with some buttons too. So they all look really nice. And up top, this is the little nub in which they tell you, well, let's see, to be careful because that little nub can break. So you got to be careful with that. So make sure, if you ever do get one of these, to make sure not to accidentally break that. Oh, not right there. Not accidentally break that. It's really, really nice. And when you place in the Emperor himself, he sits down very nice. You can see his hands and fit really nice in the moldings of the sleeves go to the side, so it looks really nice all over. The only thing though is if you look in here, it looks like there's a huge gap behind him, so it doesn't sit completely all the way to the back of this chair. It just sits a little bit forward, but it's fine because you can't really tell from the front. As you can see here, once you place it down, he just looks like he's sitting there watching you menacingly. And here we have the second body, in which you see the Emperor in its whole full figure form, standing there with his cane, and it's amazingly good looking figure. I mean, I am very impressed. I was very skeptic at first when it first was announced, and I wasn't sure, especially the photos wasn't showing me a lot of what it was going to look like, or at least what it will feel like once you have it in hand. But it's really, really cool. For example, here we have, it came with two fisted hands. The other hand is right here. Oh, so sorry if I can't get the angle right on that. And he comes with one right hand specifically only for the cane. Now the cane is really well sculpted, and I have to tell you, I'm really glad that the length of the cane is correct and it works well, because in the Black Series version, when it came out, the cane seemed to be a little bit shorter than it needed, and it was really hard to actually get him in the stance of him holding out just like that. I will show you a comparison later, but for right now I just wanted to show you that. The other hands that come with this figure is you have two of these nice relaxed hands. I believe you can use these to carry or put things in his hands, which is pretty cool. And he also has two lightning effect hands. And these lightning effect hands are really well sculpted. If you look right here, let's see. If you look right into the hands, you will notice that there is sculpted, I want to say sculpted like wrinkles and really old hands on there. And then the plastic form here spreads out as the electric form. And it's more of a clear light purple, which I think looks more accurate to what the film looked like. It's hard to see it here. Let me see if you can tell right there. Probably it's hard to tell with this camera the exact color, but the whole actual plastic is of this clear plastic color, where the hands are just painted on there. But the sculpting on the hands here, so sorry, the sculpting on the hands here are just done well, really, really well. And changing those hands are actually very easy. They're the standard Figuarts hands. Pop out and then just pop them in, and just be careful, because like I said, these things are very, very, like, they're movable. They're nice soft plastic, but you do not want to break any of those. So I recommend holding it, if you can, between two fingers on the hand, and then just putting it in there, because it is a very small peg and it's a little bit forceful to get it in. Come on, I gotta force it in. There we go. Alright, and there you can see the hands that are displayed on it. Pretty sure you can create so many versions of different ways of holding him, but that's how the hands would look, as you can see. So that is pretty cool. Now that we've spoken about the hands, and right here I have it displayed with the more relaxed hands for this part of the video, I wanted to show you the different head sculpts that come with this figure. Now, in order for me to do that, I will have to take off the hood of this, and in order to take that out, you just have to lift it up and just be careful, and then pull this forward of his head, and there you go. And now you have a unhooded Emperor Palpatine. And the first headpiece that we're going to show you is, let me see. Probably should get those things on the back out so we can look at better. Alright, here we go. So you can see is very well sculpted. I really hope the details are showing up on the video, but the print technology on the face is amazing. It's the best I've seen in a long time, and the hair sculpt is so well done too. It's a very light off-white color, whereas the skin is a much more pale color. And here, within the package, the first head sculpt, as we see here, is the one where it's more like a very stern look, just looking on. It's sort of like the standard head that we see on the Emperor oftentimes. It's well done. I mean, the look of it is just great. His eyes, let's see if I can capture his eyes. Not enough light, I guess. His eyes are really, really good. I mean, the print, like I said, the print technology worked well on this one so much. That's the first head sculpt. The second head sculpt that I'll show you is going to be more of the angry, scowling head. He has teeth that you can see. You can see right there the teeth are open, and he's more angrier. Sort of like the time when he starts to electrify Luke with his force powers, and it's really, really cool. That's the sculpt on the back of the hair. They're all pretty much the same except just for the facial expression, but like I said, the print technology just works well on here, and you can see a little bit more veins on his forehead, and it just stands out a lot. It's pretty as I said, it's really cool, and I can't stress that enough. I probably should use a better word. It's excelente. Alright, and now let's go to the, whoops, pop that off the wrong way. That was not supposed to pop out. Let's get that out. Alright, I'm gonna have to take this off camera. Alright, there we go. That was unexpected. I guess I'll go talk about that when we get to the when I talk about the articulation of this guy. And the last head sculpt I'm going to put on is my favorite head sculpt of all, and that is this smirking, like, cocky face of like he knows what's going to happen, like I am better than you. And here it's like this is like the head sculpt to me that I'm going to display with my figure. Just looking at that, it's sort of like giving you that I know what's going to happen and your friends are going to die, Skywalker kind of look, you know, where he feels like I'm in control and I'm the boss and no one else can tell me what to do. It's probably, oh my gosh, let me go. Let me see. And the eyes on this guy is just super clear on this one. The one thing I wish they did do, even though I don't know if it's possible, is that if they can make the eyes more of a glossy color or a glossy coat on there, just so that it could be it stands out more. But the way it is now is it's so great. And the thing, and let me put the hood on because I can show you how this one looks now with the hood. It just snaps in there with the little tab that goes right behind that little piece right here that connects, and you can see how freaking cool it looks. I know you can't probably see most of his face, but let's be honest, that's how it was during the original Return of the Jedi. And that's what I really liked about it, was that he had this mysterious look about him that we didn't know where he came from, what's he all about. And this is just the best, one of the best representations, right next to the Hot Toys. I think the Hot Toys is probably the best one I've seen. This is the second best, or at least I would say it's companion at the 6-inch scale form. But looking at that, it's just so menacing. It's sort of seeing like yep, nice to meet you kind of thing. But it's just a pretty cool piece overall. I mean, look at that head sculpt. Now let's take a look at the articulation. Now, as I can told you before, the hood piece is connected up here to the collar area. And when you want to start to move the head, you can move the head on the inside, like so, but the hood is hard to move. If you could move it, but it does seem to look a little odd a little bit, but it is possible to move the hood pieces. If you take the hood off for right now, just so we can look better at what it can do without it, the head can't move left and right because it's got a ball joint up there, and it also has a ball joint on the neck area, so it has a much more better range. He can look down, he can look up, he does side to side. It's just odd because sometimes the inner piece wants to move more than the top joint, so you might have to hold the bottom piece or in order to get the exact movement that you want. Now, I gotta tell you, the whole arm is just really cool because it does have a butterfly joint, so it moves left, up, forward, and back. It actually moves all over the place, so it's sort of like that that new type of joint that they have where it's just like a ring over a joint up here, or a connection. It does have a bicep swivel, however, I've been having difficulty moving it. It's a little rough to move it, but it is possible. But because you have this other piece, it's not really necessary. It doesn't need to do that as much. The arms all the way down doesn't look straight all the way down. That's as far back or down it goes, and up high it can go up to a little bit past of a 90 degree. But you can see here also it does leave a gap. Let me see. It does leave a gap on the hand a bit, but you can shift it back. So it does move around in there. And at the same time, it also moves and swivels here, so it helps you out. The hands are on that standard SH Figuarts joint, which you can move around, which is fine. And you can have them like go down that far, go up that far, so it's pretty good. Now, when it comes down to the body, it does have a waist swivel. It does not have an ab joint or anything, but the waist swivel can move around side to side. So if I look at it this way, it goes that way, it goes that way, and it goes forward quite a bit. But when it does do that, the robes do come up from it, so it doesn't really look nice, and it can't really go back as much because the robes keep it, but it does give it enough so that you can probably look back. But that's like one of those things that doesn't work out. And it does have these long robes that are made out of soft plastic, and you can look under here, it looks like a regular standard type of legs that he carries. It does have the drop down method for the legs, so it can go down, it goes up pretty far. It can't go back as much due to the robes. It does go out pretty far also. There's a little, however, there's a lot of resistance with the robe, so it kind of pushes it back. It does have a single joint that bends in pretty good, like I would say past a 90 degree. It doesn't go all the way back, it doesn't because of the robes. It does have these nice ankle joints with the pivot and all, and it has a toe joint, so it's a relatively good articulation, especially for a character that's in robes, and the robes are all completely made of plastic. But I can tell you right now, it's actually, like, it's not too bad, because Emperor Palpatine was not much of a very action-oriented body-wise for the film. He did use a lot of force powers, which involved a lot of his hands, and that's it, in the original trilogy. So, being that, you know, it still has, like, standard articulation, I still think it's just great, because all the articulation that was necessary, and they did a great job, was here in the arms, because these arms are what fuels, or at least creates the power in which he tries to destroy Luke with. So that's pretty much what needed to work, and I always remember that his look when he does this is very interesting. It's sort of like that weird, like, I don't know how he does it, but he's just sort of like, so you shall die kind of feel, you know? So this is just an awesome looking piece with a great articulation. Alright guys, let me just give you a quick lowdown of the whole thing of what I think it is a great set, because it looks like you get 2 figures in a throne room and 2 statues, if anything, 2 statues you can have for displaying purposes. For the price of what they is very high. It's a very high collectible item. It does suck that it is a Soul Web exclusive, so you would have to get this from some other retailers online if they still have them available. They were up for pre-order months ago. If you're able to get it at a good price that you feel comfortable with, I highly recommend getting it. If you are collecting the line of SH Figuarts, or if you just want a really good Palpatine figure in 6-inch form, I'd go for this. I mean, there's not really anything bad with it. It comes with so many things. I also forgot to mention, apologize, I don't know why I don't read the instructions sometimes. I guess I just figured I don't need to. But the hands on the throne room figure does come off too, so you can display them with different hands. However, I don't see why it would be the purpose of that, since those hands seem to be made simply for him to be on the throne. One of the major things that I wish they did, for what they're giving you, it's great, but if they just added one more hood piece, so that way you can have a piece and have it on the head for the throne, that would be even better, because then you get 2 displaying options. You can display him standing somewhere else and then display him in the throne, but they don't do that. It seems like you only have one hood piece for both of these figures, so it's kind of like you gotta choose which one you want to display him in. For me, it's gonna definitely be the hoodie on the throne, because that's mostly where it's gonna be doing. If I want to, later on, if I'll take him out and put him in these different options of having him be in an action pose, I'd rather not. I'd rather just put him with the throne piece. But yeah, let me see if I can just switch the heads about. But I mean, it's your choice on whether or not you guys want to pick this guy up. I do recommend it. It's just, like I said, it does suck that it is a Soul Web exclusive, so therefore you won't be able to get that very easily, or if not at the price, the regional retail price, you're gonna have to pay a little extra for the premium. But yeah, I mean, I gotta tell you guys, this is just a great set. So I mean, that depends on you guys of what you think. And just to finish off this review, I wanted to put some other figures right next to it so you can see his height difference compared to other figures in the same line and in the Black Series. Here we have Grand Moff Tarkin. Pretty nice looking figure. Then we have one of his old apprentices, Darth Maul, standing right there. Just pretty tiny. I did not know Darth Maul was that tiny. Of course he is in a fighting stance, but he does seem pretty tiny. And then we have over here one of his old Alliances characters. We have the Bandai Figuarts. I'm sorry, not Bandai Figuarts. The Bandai model kit. Damn, I forgot his name for a moment. General Grievous, there he is. Standing right next to him. Just a pretty tall figure. Then we have right here the model kit of Darth Vader. And then standing right next to him, which looks fantastic. Height difference wise, it works perfect. And let me just take that one out, and then we'll have just the one guy that you see him mostly displayed with, or at least you mostly see him with during the film, is Jedi Luke Skywalker. And this is another SH Figuarts figure. Let's see if we can get him standing right. And yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. It's just right, almost he's a little tinier than the Emperor, but I gotta tell you, this looks just great, fantastic wise when I have this displayed. Alright guys, that's it. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope it was informative and you guys enjoyed it. I'm not that great at video reviews, as you can see. I'm doing my best. I may not given you all the information that you probably wanted, but I wanted to give you just a perspective of my point of view of what I think about this figure, and I think it's just overall amazing. I just love this piece. Next to my model kit from Bandai's, the Darth Vader with a custom robe, so that's not something that came with it. But looking at this is just a great display piece, and having these. There's also the Black Series Imperial Guards, but I couldn't find them. I don't remember where I left them, so I couldn't do a comparison. I apologize, but this is just overall just great. But like again, if you're interested in getting some of this, you can always check online to see if you can find something. Big Bad Toy Store used to have them, but they're pretty much sold out. You can probably check online, a place like agelessgeeks.com. They might have something listed there. You could also check Ami Ami again, or Nippon Nasan, I think it's called, to see if they have any extras, because obviously this is going to be a very hot item. It depends if you want to put the price for it, but I'd say if you are collecting these things, it's well worth the price. Alright guys, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Be safe out there, and may the force be with you.